And the next mission will be in Thinis. And Thinus is a nice little mission. So it kind of teaches you about mining. And also I believe it has taxes in it. But entertainment is the other big thing. We'll start this one. And we'll do rapid fire for these first couple ones because they're a little bit simple. There's not too much that you can get wrong because it kind of walks you through the whole process.
After many years and the passing of a generation, your family has resettled in the area of Thinis, in Upper Egypt. Here, a small band of local rulers is attempting to extend its influence over Lower Egypt and all lands along the River Nile, and to unite this realm under its own house with one supreme leader. Establishing Thinis as a thriving city like nothing ever seen before will prove the worthiness of the Thinite Confederacy and help them gain supremacy over Lower Egypt and the other factions vying for power. In time, this will mean providing the population with entertainment and building wonderful temples to worship the region's patron deity. To build a city this grand will require a substantial supply of cash. You'll find rich deposits of gold ore in Thinis, and harvesting them should be your first priority.
Cool. So we're going to be mining gold ore, we're going to be building temples, and we're going to be building entertainment of some kind. So I believe it'll be regular schools and booths. So start to lay down your housing and provide your people with fresh water and food the same way you did in Nubt. It's fine. You can clear trees with the remove button, but these won't grow back. So if we have wood as an option for our resources, we'll have to avoid doing that as much as possible. But here it's totally fine. Cool. So on Thinus, I normally like to... well, on the old Pharaoh, I'd have to build my housing down here because the gold mine's right here. But on this particular version of Pharaoh, I can kind of build them anywhere I want to, which is kind of quite nice. So I'm going to use, I think actually I will just use this area down here anyway. I think it's a kind of a good spot. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're going to leave a couple spaces outside. This is sort of the plan that I like to use. Doesn't matter too much to do early game, so I'm not going to go for a huge block. But that should be fine. But late game, what I will often do is... well, I say late game, as we unlock more and more services, this block is going to get bigger, but basically all the services go on the inside and all the workers go on the outside, and that just maximizes your amount of workers that you get per service, and that's sort of my plan here. And I'm going to do... I'm just going to do like that. I'll put a second roadblock in there for now. And then we need the firehouse. Don't forget the firehouse and the architect's post. Very important. Don't want our buildings to burn down or collapse. That would be very bad. And over here we're going to do... we're just going to do that. And I'll put a granary there, and we'll make sure to actually set this to accept all. And then we'll do 2 hunters lodges, and we'll stick in a firehouse down this side and an architect's post as well, and that'll just patrol this road here because they can't go this way, they can't go that way. That's totally fine. And then finally we're gonna need to get our village palace, which I suppose comes in afterwards. So we need to get these upgraded first. So in that case, we'll do our bazaar. So in the original Pharaoh, you could start all of this straight away and put down your village palace as well. But I think in here they're trying to kind of encourage you to get the housing up first. So we'll do that. And we're going along. Speed management. Yep. So we're making good use of that already, so that's fine. Now okay, so this is 1 to slow down, and T brings it back to the... Okay, that's cool. So the bazaar workers are coming back with their little children carrying baskets of food.
That bossy lady makes me carry goods all day.
I do like that they kept the original voice lines from Pharaoh. They were... I really love the voice acting in Pharaoh, so it's really cool that they kept those in there. Now, if I was being a little bit more efficient, I would have tried to make sure that these houses would all be 1 tile each, rather than being 2x2s, but it's fine. The 2x2s are more... generally, in my opinion, more efficient. But the 1x1s are really good when you've got the requirement to meet a certain amount of housing of a certain level. Okay, cool. So we got the mining gold options now. So we need to place at least 2 gold mines near the veins of ore, and also make sure to protect them against collapse, because mines are very susceptible to collapsing. So we'll go ahead and put down our gold mines. So we'll put down 3, why not? And then we'll put in an architect's post. And we'll just put it on, I guess we'll put it on that side there. And I'm going to stick a roadblock right there. And we will have a firehouse in here as well, once we put down our village palace. But now we are waiting to actually have a palace. There we go. And we'll just pop it there. It's fine. And put a firehouse in there as well. But you can, I mean, looking at all this ore in this mountain, or in these rocks, you could put down probably at least like, you could probably get like 20 gold mines in here, if you were really kind of being efficient with it. But this is fine. This is totally fine. I mean, it's a tutorial mission. But every time a bit of gold comes in, that's 100 gold in the coffer, basically every single time. So it's awesome. Money is really... It can be tricky to manage in this game, particularly when you start importing goods and exporting goods. So it's important to kind of keep track of that. With the supply of cash in reserve, however, comes the risk of theft. So we have to get a police station to avoid the risks of people coming over and stealing all of our hard-earned or hard-taxed cash. So we'll go ahead and throw down the police station in here. And this should be absolutely fine for this area. And actually, while I'm here, I don't have access to overlays, which seems like an oversight, actually. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So here we go. So we've got the crime overlay, and then be able to explore a few of them. So this is great. So we can look at the crime overlay, which is under here, and we see that currently there is, it's relatively secure. There's not an awful lot of crime. There are a few niggles on this side in terms of the potential for crime, but otherwise it's all good. So as this police walker walks past, and we'll just watch this now. Basically, as he walks past, this little pillar next to these guys will go down if it's up, and it'll diminish the rate of crime there. So physicians and apothecaries. So physicians stop people from getting sick, and apothecaries protect houses against malaria, in particular. So malaria can be a real problem in kind of a particular way, but physicians help with basically everything else. So this whole area is a tinderbox of unrest. Crime is endemic and anything might happen. And then we wait for this guy to walk past, and then it goes to this is a very law-abiding neighborhood with no crimes reported at all, which is great. And there's also a few other risks here. So we've got malaria risk overlay, diseases risk overlay. I currently have no likelihood of disease, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen in future. So we will just grab our physician now, and we'll just get that underway. Cool. And I'll go ahead and clear the overlay now. We can see the city again. And we've got a couple of houses that aren't upgrading to the max level, but that is fine. It'll happen naturally. The patron god of Thinus. So we're talking about here the religious kind of beliefs of the Egyptians in antiquity. And in this game, there are 5 gods that are represented. So this goes Bast, Ptah, Seth, Osiris, and Ra, the king of the gods. Bast is kind of associated with like fertility and people's health in this game. And so we'll start with Bast here, because we only get offered a couple per city, and you do want to make sure that you're appeasing all of them. In this case, we'll put down 1 temple. And we'll put down a shrine. I'll put down 2 shrines there. And then we'll look at these things that I just missed here. Build a temple, and then we have flat mode here, so you can right click to go to flat mode. You press F to go to flat mode. There you go. And build 2 shrines dedicated to Bast, which we've done. I did that already. And then the festivals here. So we've got both patron gods and local deities can become hostile if not shown the respect due their positions. So you'll get basically wrath events where they'll affect your city in a negative way. And if they're really happy and you've thrown them a festival recently, they may do a blessing for you. And there are a couple of different types of blessings, and kind of as you go along and you play the game, you'll sort of discover which ones you're really looking out for, which ones are really good, which ones are kind of meh, and also which kind of gods you really don't want to piss off as you go through. So Ra is a very big one for that. Open the Overseer menu on the left panel. Cool. So we can do that. And here's the Overseer of the Temples, which is what it's taking us to. And it says here that Bast is currently apathetic. Okay, so we can hold a new festival to Bast. I think that's what it's trying to get me to do. Open the temple overseer and hold the festival to Bast. Okay. So you can do it from the festival square, but we'll just follow its orders right now. And we'll just go for a lavish festival to Bast. So they do cost money, and the grand festivals, which are the highest tier of festivals available, it also costs beer, which we'll get to in the episode following the next one. The mission following the next one. Yeah. And so beer brewing is it's a very valuable good, but it basically comes from barley, which you can farm, and then you just put in some labor and time to make a 100 barley into 100 beer. It's very efficient, and they sell quite well also, so it's quite a good kind of trade good. So cool. So we have these rough cottages. Gonna need to upgrade these, but I'm guessing we're waiting for this festival to come through. It's in October, so we'll go ahead and speed up a little bit. And then we'll pop back down. Cool. And there we have entertainment unlocked. So you can build a booth, and later on we'll unlock bandstands, pavilions, senate houses, even zoos. But for now, we'll talk about booths. They need a intersection, essentially. And so this is one of the kind of real kickers in this game, is that it forces you to sort of make use of an intersection when it tells you you cannot or you should not use loads of intersections because they confuse walkers. But that is fine. So I have this spot here that I've already reserved for this. And so you always want one in your housing area because it forces the workers into your housing, and then they'll walk around, basically spread entertainment to everyone here. And we'll just put our juggler school down here where our food production is, because it already has access to a firehouse and an architect's post. Cool. And then we'll do that. So if we weren't playing with the global worker pool, I would have to have had something like this, or probably actually more like, think about this, it would probably be more like the architect's post there, and then a physician behind it. And then I'd have to do something like that to put the workers behind, so that they move into here, and then all these places would have access to the global worker pool because they've passed these two houses, and then once they've passed those two houses, they can see all of these people in here. We're done. So we've got an ordinary cottage here, and the next level of so this is the kind of the I think it's the 5th level of housing. It does require pottery. Now pottery we'll get to in the next mission, and it's basically the first sort of good that's not food that the houses will need to upgrade. So per Wadget. The Precarious Nile. Hiya, Nedumvoy here. Thank you so much for watching. Likes, comments, and subscriptions really help out the channel, but if you'd rather move on to my next video straight away, you can find it on screen now. We'll see you in the next one.